Every video out there on YouTube will tell you how to seed start stuff, but not every video out there will show you what to do once those little seedlings have finally popped up. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take care of those little seedling babies. Hi, my name is Kristen and I am the content creator behind Shifting Roots. I help cold climate and short season gardeners learn to grow vegetables and flowers with ease. So if you also live in a cold climate like I do in my Zone 3 garden, then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where I show every day exactly what I'm doing in my garden in real time. Now, I actually first recorded this video yesterday with a bit of a different setup. And then when I went back to edit it, I realized that I lost the first bit of my footage, which I'm recording for you now. So as you're watching this video, you're gonna notice that I magically changed clothes and the camera angle is a tiny bit different, but the information is all the same. So today what we're gonna do instead is I'm just gonna show you how I bump up some of my flower seedlings. Even though these seedlings are really, really small, when you lift up the container, you can see that some of the roots are starting to poke through. In the case of my snapdragons and my feverfew, this is from seed that I saved myself, and I was a little unsure about the germination rates. So what I did is I just sprinkled a bunch in every single cell so that I would get something. And now in some of these teeny tiny cells, I have like 5 plants. So I need to just move those out. Other like the eucalyptus, they're ready to move on up to their big thing. And then I also have some lisianthus that have finally gotten big enough in here, and they need to be bumped up to the 50s with the rest of the lisianthus. So I thought I would take you along for the ride with me today. Also, I'm going to show you a little bit about how I do my fertilizing and my luffa sponges. Okay, so let's start by bumping up those snapdragons and feverfew and separating them out. First, we're going to do the snapdragons because the roots haven't come down. I'm just using an old pen that my daughter broke to kind of tease things out and just help it along. You can use your fingers, doesn't really matter. All I'm doing is I'm sticking my pen in there just so I can grab the cell out. And then I'm gonna very carefully separate out my little seed babies. This is really hard to tell exactly what's a seed baby and what is not. These are my seed babies. Look at the root on that, and it's just such a teeny tiny little plant. I can't even focus on it properly on my finger there. Now it's a bit easier to see them there with my fingers not in the way. And I've got 3 of them done now. Taking out the lisianthus is just as easy. I've got just a few tiny ones here that have come in. These ones don't require as much maneuvering because there's only 1 seed in each, which now that I know next year that the seeds I save are good enough, I will only put 1 in and make my life easier. And you literally just drop it in. The end. That's all you do. So friends, I just really want to encourage you that if you can drop a seed in a hole, you can bump up your seedlings. You have got this. It's really, really easy. Now let's move on to yesterday's footage. I'm also going to bump up these luffa plants. These vines are going to grow really, really tall before I'm able to get them out. So I'm actually going to start them in these red solo cups for now. And if they have to stay even longer, then I'll bump them up 1 more time. So for the solo cup, to help me with the water issue, what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke some holes in the bottom. So in 1 cup, I've poked a hole in the bottom so that water can get through. I don't want to poke anymore because it kind of looks like it's going to break. And then that's going to rest in here so that I can water into there and have this in here. And then it helps, you know, with the overwatering thing. So again, so all we do is we're just going to add some potting soil. We don't want to fill it all the way up. We need some room for the plant. So I've left quite a bit of room here. And then all I'm gonna do is just dig this out with my fingers. Wow, look at this. Look how much root is in the plant. This is just a tiny itty bitty plant, and the root already goes all the way out till here. So great, we're gonna dig in, drop in our root, trying to keep it down as much as possible. There we go, and we can just top that up with a little bit more potting soil. And then finally, I can give it a little bit of water. So, yes, I've done it correctly. And done. Our luffa sponges are all potted up and we can move on to our next project. If you want to know more about growing luffa sponges in cold climates like Zone 3, you can check out this video here. And I'll also link to a blog post in the description. All right, so here are the peppers. A lot of them still have to germinate, but the ones that do, if I lift this up, the roots are just starting to come out. So I'm going to start putting them into their bigger cells. We're using trays like this for anything that we're really growing a lot of, where it just doesn't make sense to do the 6s as much. So I'll just show you that process here. It's super, super easy. If you remember these peppers, we did a video about planting them maybe about 2-3 weeks ago. I'll link that one up here too for you. So I don't have a lot of potting soil left. I actually have to run and get some more. So I'm just gonna do a very small section just to show you. Pour that in. Okay, I'm going to just use an extra tag to kind of gently lift that pepper out. As much of it as I can. See, we've got quite a long root, even though it's a teeny tiny little seedling. And then just make a little bit of a hole in the spot you filled. Push your pepper down. And that's literally it. You've now bumped up your peppers. It's not hard at all. You can't mess it up unless you like literally sit there picking at the root or the leaf or something. It's super, super easy. For those of you growing onions from seed this year, you're gonna wanna trim your onions every so often. So whenever they get to about 3-4 inches tall, all you do is give them a little snip. It's kind of like mowing the lawn in a sense, except mowing the lawn with scissors. You can also save those for omelets and stuff like that. There, that's all done, easy. Last thing we're gonna do is do some fertilizing. So once our plants get to that 4-leaf stage or above, then I like to start using a water-soluble fertilizer every 2 weeks or so. This is the fertilizer I use. I'm not sponsored by them. It's called Rapid Grow. This is just locally what I can find. I would link to you on Amazon, but I can never seem to find it. And so all you do is you just follow your package directions. That up. I keep a mixing jug just especially for the water-soluble fertilizer, just so that I'm not putting it in some of my other things, and we don't want to be drinking out of that necessarily. So I know with mine about I don't have a lot to fertilize today. There's no need for me to mix up this entire thing. Normally one of these milk jugs equals one of these scoops, but I'm doing a lot less, so I will obviously put in a lot less. Definitely more is not more with fertilizer. It's, in my opinion, definitely better to make your fertilizer on the weak side than to overdo it. You're gonna kill your plants and burn them. You just mix that up. Water turns blue in this case. And then for this eucalyptus, we're gonna bottom water them. And that's it. It's really easy. So just keep track of it in your garden planner that you fertilize that week or in whatever tracking system you use. I have a garden planner. If you don't have one, I can put that link in the description. And that is the seed care for this week. Every day I share in real time what I'm doing in the garden on Instagram and Facebook. So if you live in a cold climate with a short growing season or zone 3 like I do, make sure that you follow along over there as well. I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I'm also gonna bump up these luffa plants. Oh, you're in my frame. Works perfectly